All right, let me turn this down. All right, everyone, welcome, welcome. I am a lady named Pearl, and I am here with the amazing TJ Chapman. He is a manager in the music industry, and we're doing this interview for Pearl Magazine. Initially, I had sent him some questions, and he was like, "Listen, Pearl, it'd be easier for me to answer them in an interview." So I'm so excited because to me, this is a way better platform. So, TJ, how are you doing this morning?
Awesome, awesome. Yourself?
I am doing well. I'm doing exciting. I feel like the universe is like, aligning me as well as my tribe for us to get just some more information on us as artists that are looking to understand the music business. So thank you, first of all, for your time. I'm extremely appreciative. And yeah, let's get it rocking and rolling. I want to get to know you because I feel like, we've known each other, but it's been from a distance perspective. So I'm going to use this interview as an opportunity to really understand you and your lineage. So I want to start off with, where are you from, TJ? Where were you born?
Born in the Canal Zone in Panama City, Panama, the country Panama.
Oh my goodness. I had no idea.
In the Navy.
Wait, your dad was in the Navy. Okay, it's going in and out just a little bit. Okay, your dad is in the Navy. Okay, because I was wondering if, I know a lot of people migrated in the 1800s to work on the canal, but your dad was in the Navy. So the US sent him there to work.
A
Okay.
linguist in the Navy. And so I was born in Panama, then moved to Puerto Rico, and then came back to the States.
And how old were you at that time when you came back to the States?
Two, but I'm not positive.
Okay, two. Okay, 2 years old. All right. And then when you came back to the States, where did you land?
I think Canton, Ohio.
Okay. Okay. Now, being that your father was in the military, did you have like outside of being born in Panama, where you moved around quite a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I came back. I was in Canton, Ohio. I was in Bluffton, Ohio. I was in Delray Beach, Florida. I was in Utica, Michigan. Well, I was in Delray for kindergarten. I was in Utica, Michigan for elementary school in seventh grade, and then I moved to Canton, Ohio. I was there for eighth and ninth grades. My first time going to school with blacks. I was raised in the suburbs of Detroit, where for a while I was the only black kid in the school.
Wow. Okay. And this also kind of gives me an understanding of perhaps why you're so comfortable traveling, because, your foundation was you moving around quite a bit and having to adapt to different environments. Okay, got you.
That
So I was
helped. I think that helped.
Okay, got you. So I was doing a little research on you, and I found out that you were a DJ first because I had written some questions, and I was like, let me just look up to see if I can find some answers, so I don't have to ask him questions that I can already, find answers for. So my understanding is you were a DJ. You became a DJ at 14 years old, and you were inspired by the early hip hop films, Beat Street, all of those different things.
D Street and Breaking. The DJ was the centerpiece of the whole scene, and I wanted to be him. He was a nucleus, and I wanted to be that guy.
Yes, absolutely. So who invested in you? Because, as a 14-year-old, doesn't DJ equipment cost money? So who was behind this for you?
She invested in everything I wanted to do.
Your mom? Okay.
Huh?
It's something with this audio, TJ. It's like it misses the first letter or first I'm gonna say note. First word that you say. I caught the end part of your mom. Okay, your mom. Your mom was one of your biggest advocates. She was your cheerleader.
Yeah.
Shout out to the queens and the moms. Okay. So tell me, how did you develop as a DJ? Because and then also, did you have a love for music prior to that? Because I'm a music kid. I went to a magnet school. Were you doing music prior to DJing? Oh,
I mean, I was in the band. I played the cornet in the band. And then shit, I used to make my own mixes, but I didn't have turntables back in the day. So I remember first time my mom got me a double cassette deck for Christmas. I would use the pause button to do mixes with the music off the radio.
I hear you. I hear you. I remember that time. I remember that time. Okay, so you go from DJing, and then I hear that you got a scholarship to FAMU for their business school, which is like FAMU's business school is amazing.
Yep, I was in a 5-year MBA program. Had scholarships to a lot of colleges like University of Pennsylvania, New York University in New York City, Fordham in Philadelphia, Drexel in New York City. But I came to visit FAMU, and when I came to visit, I had never really been around a lot of blacks. But when I came to visit, I felt like I was at home. I felt like it was a place, the place for me. So I
Hmm.
decided to go to school in Tallahassee, Florida, and that's where I really kicked my career off.
Got you. So were you like a nerd in high school? How did you get all of these scholarships?
I mean, I was a cool nerd. I'm still a nerd.
Okay. Because when I see you, I did not get that perception. It's like, wow, okay. Yeah, so you kicked off your career at FAMU. Um, so tell us a little bit about that. You felt at home because you had been in different environments that were not part of, I guess you can say, your melanated tribe. So you get to FAMU, and you like, okay, this is home. So what happens? Give me kind of a feel of how things unfold for you.
I mean, I was a freshman. I didn't bring my equipment down here when I started school, but my sophomore year, I brought my equipment down and started DJing house parties, started DJing campus activities, all the little stuff for the school. And I started DJing frat parties and started DJing. Just kept progressing and started DJing the big stuff on campus. And then one day I had a house party, a little barbecue to DJ. And it just so happened a Florida legend by the name of Beatmaster Clay D was there. And he asked me, wanted me to DJ for him at his new club called Club Hollywood. He was opening in Tallahassee. So I agreed to do that. And so I started DJing for him at the club. And then he wanted me to go on the road with him, be his road DJ. Started doing that. Then became his road manager and then became his manager. Um,
Yeah, that's Clay D right there,
oh
right?
yeah, look at Clay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So my thing is, hold on, TJ. What made you stand out for him to say, I need you to come on the road with me? What do you feel made him that thing click for him?
I mean the skills. I mean, I was good.
I mean, I got you. I guess I see. I'll get you all pearls. I'll get you caught up in when I met TJ. Okay, you had the skill. So were you scratching? Were you like what kind of like what was your thing that made you stand out?
I mean, my scratching, my mixing. I was from up north, so I wasn't really hip to the talking thing, like how DJs down south in Florida they do what they call mic checking and talk over the records, or even basically rap over the records. Um, but I never wanted to talk, so I was that silent DJ. I was that DJ that wouldn't say nothing. If I had to say something, I would pass my mic to whoever was next to me to say it because I was shy. I guess I still am shy. But
Mm.
uh, with the business, I had to learn to come out my shell if I wanted to be successful.
So you started talking on the mic?
I never started talking on mic, but I started talking to people.
Okay, okay. Because DJ Nasty, I love it when he's, and then I grew up in Miami, so I'm used to that talking on the mic too, kind of thing. Okay, so you go on the road with Clay D, and then just from the different interviews that I've witnessed or on you, somehow with your drive and your business acumen, you become his manager.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I became his manager back in probably about 91, and then renegotiated his contract with Pandisc Records in 92. So that was actually my first record deal situation that I was involved with in '92, and then working with Clay, I started working with a kid named Prince Raheem. He had a song called "Loose My Money" back in the day, and I got him a deal with Island Records, and he was the first Miami-based solo artist with a major record deal. That was in '93.
In
And
93.
yeah, and then I started managing a kid by the name of Total Chaos, a kid by the name of Dynamite.
Total Chaos.
Uh,
I know Total Chaos.
yeah, I managed Crazy Legs. Managed a lot of people.
Total Chaos was a friend of mine when I moved to Tallahassee. So just to catch you all up, the interesting thing about my story, TJ, is I don't want to say I didn't know much about hip hop because I guess I didn't consider Miami-based hip hop, but it is hip hop. So when I got to college, I was just hanging around some hip hop artists because I started out singing. I used to sing in a choir when I was in middle school, high school, and they wanted me to sing on a hook. Anyway, TJ, I was in the studio with them one night, and I was like, I think I could rap. So then that night I had wrote like 8 bars, on a sheet. And then the next day when I came into the studio with them, this is me at 20 years old, 19 or 20, never rapped before. I was like, hey, I want to, rap. And DJ Suave, I don't know if you remember him because I was hanging out with Kings. DJ Suave was working on a song for FAMU. And
I love that song.
yes, and that was my first time ever rapping. And I was like, Suave, I want to try this. And he was like, all right, get in the booth. And the next thing you know, I'm like, Black Pearl, a crucial conflict on the team. And then when I get out the booth, they all like, what the hell? And I'm like, it's my first time rapping, but it was something in me that, just got that going. And then the song ended up on the radio in Tallahassee, and everybody's like, you're a rapper? You're a rapper? Who's that girl? Who's that girl? And that's how my rap career started. It wasn't something that was necessarily intentional. It was just like spiritual, divine, right place, right time. They put me right after Kings, on the first verse. And then Hutch was putting together a girl group. So you all, TJ had this record store and Hutch was in the back. TJ had a label called Wild Style. I'm not sure how you all's relationship formed. I'm gonna ask that because I need to know. But anywho, Hutch was starting a girl group, and I was figuring, okay, well, let me be the rapper of the group. And I auditioned, and he took me in. So that's how I became the rapper of the group. But because I had a singing background, I was able to harmonize with them. But how did you and Hutch form you all's relationship? What was that about?
I mean, he needed a studio to work out of, and I had the recording studio. Stuff had kind of went left with Total Chaos, and
Yeah.
so we needed somebody to work the studio. So Hutch filled that spot, and he worked back there for a lot of years.
Yes, he did. I mean, he was working with T.I. I met so many people, JT Money. I was on a song with Thrill the Player. It was so many people that y'all were bringing through there. So many amazing people.
Yeah, matter of fact, you said T.I. We recorded Ludacris' song "On Top of the World" um, at Wild Style. Now you mentioned T.I., that's what he was there for.
Mm.
It was Bob on the hook. It was a guy from Asia Dio or something from Tallahassee. It was his beat, and so then Ludacris and Ti got on it, and that was the first time Bob performed at the BET Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta with Ludacris and Ti doing that song. That was the
Wow.
first time anybody really saw Bob B.o.B.
Got you. And I mean, I didn't mean to skip through so many things because I know there were other things that happened before you actually got Wild Style and the store itself, because I have that. Did you start the record pool first or you had the store first?
I mean, I didn't start the store till '99. I started the record pool in '94.
Yeah, okay, got you. Got you. I'm just so impressed with your business. Like you seem very faith driven, TJ, to do all of these different things, to put yourself out there? Because with the record pool, you were saying there was, the closest record pool as a DJ. One was in Miami, one was in Atlanta, and you saw a void. So you just started one in Tallahassee. And I think the genius behind that is you have three major universities, or two major universities, FAMU and FSU. You got all of these students coming in and out and being transient, so isn't that also a key factor to have that record pool there as well? No.
Well, not really,
Oh.
because my business, I lived in Tallahassee
Mm-hmm.
and I had the businesses here, the record pool, the record store, the recording studio. I had a sound production company. I had a clothing store, Wild Stock Clothing in the mall.
Okay.
Um, I did a lot of stuff, but I tell you one thing, me, as much as I tried to do in Tallahassee, Tallahassee never supported me.
Okay.
And so it's like I was never really successful here,
Okay.
trying to get my money from here. But with the record pool, I would do this at the Moon. I would do an event called TJ's DJ's Tastemakers Only. I did it 4 times a year for about 8 years, I'd say. And I'd have everybody come down from Yo Gotti to T.I. to Rick Ross to Left Eye, TLC, to Gangsta Boo, the first time T-Pain ever performed I'm Sprung was at my event in Tallahassee. From B.o.B. I can go on. I had everybody come down. But the people in Tallahassee didn't know that was going on here.
Mm-hmm.
They would just come to the Moon
Mm-hmm.
and they would see a crowd. They would see all these rappers and just wonder why they were here, but they were here for me, for my events.
Mm-hmm.
And so people would come from all over the country, but people from Tallahassee, mm-mm. I love my city. I love where Tallahassee is today in the music scene. But back then, Tallahassee didn't like to spend money. So because they had to spend money to come to my event, then no, they wouldn't come to my event. Not realizing and not understanding the importance of it and what actually went on right here in front of their noses, underneath their noses. It was a great time.
Yeah, I can say when I was working with Hutch, and the first time I got on, I think the first and only time I got on one of your CDs, it felt like, a stepping stone, because, it's TJ DJ's record pool. You have an opportunity for all of these DJs to hear your song and, hopefully break your song. I remember those events. But I was there when it was in the side room. My understanding is that it grew to go into the main room because I end up leaving in 2002 to become a model and, tour with Ebony Fashion Fair, which was a great move for me because nothing was happening with my music. And a photographer for Ebony Fashion Fair was looking at me on MySpace. I was rapping and he was like, "Why are you rapping? Why aren't you modeling?" And I was like, "What are you trying to say?" And he was like, "Look, I'm a photographer for Ebony. I'm going to send your pictures. I think they would love you." So that's how I went in transition. But yeah, I went when it was in the side room and it was awesome.
To be honest, I started doing the event not because I wanted to, but because I was part of this record pool coalition. And they kept trying to make me have these pool meetings, but I kept bucking every time. I just never did it. And it got to the point where it's like, TJ, listen, this is the last time we're going to ask you. This is your final warning. If you don't do it, then we have to kick you out the record pool coalition. So I didn't want to get kicked out. So I went ahead and did this little meeting, record pool meeting at the Moon. First time I had 25 people. I thought it was kind of cool. It was a little networking event, artists and local media people and people that want to be in the music business. So I did again. Then I had 50, then again, then I had 100, then 200, then 400. And then one day, DJ Ace, my man Vaughn from the Moon, he came to me and was like, "Yo, TJ, hey, we can't let you have your event here in the Silver Moon Lounge anymore." And I'm like, "Damn, Vaughn, why? What happened? Why can't I do my event?" He's like, "Bro, it's time to move you to the big room." And I was like, "Bro, I don't want to I don't want to be in the big room. That room too big, dog. Like, no." He's like, "No, man, you got to go in the big room." I was like, "Please, Vaughn." don't make me go in the big room. I want to stay in the Silver Moon Lounge. He was like, nah, bro. Oh, well. So the next time we did it, we was in the big room. And that shit was slow as hell. And it was just in that big ass room. And it was just like, damn, this shit's so big and it wasn't filling up. And it was just like, damn, it's so empty in here. But then next thing I know, it was just like, boom. And that shit filled all the way up.
That's
And
what's
I was just like, oh my God, like, whoa. But so I appreciate Vaughn because he forced me to grow. You know what I'm saying? I was in my safe zone. Uh, I wasn't a risky person. I'm still not a risky person, but he forced me to do that. And when I did that, then I was shocked. It got to the point where, I mean, 1,000+ people would come down for my event. We'd fill up the whole moon. It was ridiculous. It was a great time. And to be honest, I was just trying to damn pay the bills, pay my employees, and do what I needed to do for the Record Pool Coalition. I didn't understand what I was building. And really we built something really great, something epic,
yeah,
something that impacted the whole Southern music scene.
it
And
did.
really I'm glad to have been a part of all that.
And to be the lead, the visionary. I mean, even though you had outside forces kind of, moving you left and right, you were actually the visionary of it, So it's a beautiful thing. And absolutely it was a huge impact for the South. So I just want to pull this picture up because I think this was at one of your record pools. I'm not sure, TJ. I think it was. I think it was at one of your record pools. Look at you back then. Okay. So you talked about breaking the record for T-Pain Sprung, with your connections with the record pool, all of these different things.
I mean, that was different. The record pool, yes, was a pipeline to get music distributed worldwide to the DJs to get heard. So I had that on lock. I had thousands of DJs all over the world that I served as a pipeline between the labels, the artists, and the DJs. And but Payne, I mean, that was a little different. I mean, the pool, yes, played a big part of it, but I played a big part. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I got him his deal with Jive Records. I gave the music to the A&R person. Memphis Hitch ended up signing him and doing the deal. I worked the record. They didn't know how to promote records. They didn't, I mean, they didn't have money to even press up CDs. I pressed up the CDs and I distributed CDs to all the radio stations. I didn't have anything to do with the success in Tallahassee. But outside of Tallahassee, I had a whole lot to do with all of it. We didn't have internet. We didn't have email. We didn't. The only way you could get music distributed is to give it to the people. I had to send it to them. I had to go to these different cities and and give it to them. It was a whole process.
Yes, and what's interesting is when you all went to South Beach, I was there because I lived in Miami. Somehow I had crossed paths. I was like, I saw Shahid. I was like, what are y'all doing here? Oh, we got this performance, blah, 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 blah. I just happened to cross paths. So when I was watching an interview I said, I remember that moment.
I rented the van to drive everybody down to Miami in.
Yes. So my question to you, TJ, with all the, just looking back in hindsight, anybody that's watching this that's interested in getting into management, how does a manager protect themselves so that all the effort that they put in breaking in artists, utilizing their relationships to get them a major deal, what tips could you give, a future manager or a manager that may be listening, how could they protect themselves so that they make sure they get, what's owed to them, what's due to them?
I mean, a contract. I say this, but I'm very passionate about the music. So all this stuff that I've done, like with the T-Pain incident, I didn't protect myself and I didn't have a contract. So I never got all the stuff that I was supposed to get that he and his dad and I talked about. I personally never got anything from Payne. The label Jive, you know, gave me something. Akon, who ended up doing the deal for Payne ended up signing Akon when he didn't have to. Akon gave me 25,000 off the deal because he know that was a gift, and he knew all that I did.
Got you. So you're saying lead with a contract, because I know some of us that are lovers of music, even me in modeling, like working with students doing different things, we have to lead with contracts, even though we may have like a personal relationship with that person. Is that what you would recommend, TJ?
I mean, yeah, definitely. I got the short end of the stick because of the T-Pain situation because I didn't have a contract.
Mm-hmm.
I put $60,000 of my own money into K Camp, got him an independent deal, and then took his singles "Money Baby" and cut that bitch off top 20 on the charts, and so then did a joint venture with Interscope. And his Money Baby ended up going gold, cut that bitch off, ended up going #1, and then it going platinum. It's probably double platinum now. Um, and then after a couple of years, that situation went south.
Oh
And
my.
because I didn't have a contract in that situation, I got I didn't get certain things that I was supposed to get, even though I made a shitload of money,
Is this
out of the
the picture?
situation.
Is this the
Huh?
picture? I think I got
That's
this off your Facebook. Is that the Interscope moment?
well, that's the day we signed the deal
Yes.
with Interscope.
Okay. All right. So you're saying that even though you made tons of money, you still, got the short end of the stick because you didn't have a proper contract in place.
Uh-huh. But
Okay.
then again, it's like it really depends on you and your character and your business and how people respect you. Because I've been managing B.o.B 17 years now, and I don't have a contract. You know what I'm saying? But it's been 17 years. I found him at an open mic at T.I.'s Club Crucial in Atlanta. I got him a deal with Atlantic Records. Um, been his manager for 17 years now. Been in 37 countries with him.
Mhm.
Sold about 40 million records. I manage a kid named Trap Beckham, and I don't have a contract with Trap either. You know what I'm saying? But it's all a mutual respect. I've been Trap's manager for 8 years now. A lot of people aren't familiar with the name, but everybody knows the song "Birthday Bitch."
Mhm.
It's a part of our culture now. If it's a birthday, you gonna play "Birthday Bitch." One time for the birthday bitch, two
Mhm.
time for the
Mhm.
and that's like automatic. Matter of fact, Snoop Dogg was just dancing to it for I don't know, it was his birthday, his latest birthday, the other day. But
Yeah.
everybody from Kim Kardashian, LeBron James to man, it's a lot of people. But like I said, it's part of culture. So all your favorite artists, your favorite celebrities, they're all Janet Jackson. They all they all dance to that song. They all play that song on their birthday.
No, 100, 100. And I did see that post with Snoop. This is Trap Beckham right here, right?
Birthday bitch went gold. It's probably platinum now.
So you are managing a new artist now. So Candy, let me see if I can pull up her picture. So what attracted you? What gets you to manage an artist? So one of the things I wanted to discuss about B.o.B that I was impressed about that you said about him in another interview is that he actually produces, he writes, he
Plays all kind of instruments.
yeah, so when I heard that, I was like, okay, like I get it, I get it, I get it. So yeah, he's driven. He was driven, and just watching some of your Instagram posts, which I think you do a really great job. Artists, if any of you all kind of want to hear a perspective from a manager or different tips, you're saying the artist having their own drive is what attracts a manager to you, because that's a common question: how do I get a manager? How do I get a great manager? It's you, the artist, having the drive and showing that I'm going to be a star regardless, so you better catch up or you better get on. Is that accurate, TJ?
Yeah, I mean, I look at work ethic. I like people's work ethic. That's what drives me, because this industry is hard and it requires a whole lot to win. If you don't have a strong work ethic, then it ain't gonna happen for you. A lot of people don't realize the amount of work that goes into. It's like you got artists out here trying to get on, and they have trouble properly promoting in their city. Okay, well, what about your state, or what about your region? All right, well, what about the whole United States? Can you imagine what that takes? Well, also think again, what about the whole world? And that's just a lot of work, and a lot of people, they want the fame, they want what they think the money is going to be, but they don't realize how much work goes into it to achieve that. And so it's like I see artists talking about they grinding, they doing this, but what are you doing this grinding? It's like the work that you doing can't even compete with what my people got to do in a day, let alone what you doing all year. It's like they just don't get it.
Yeah, I think sometimes we see just what the end result is and we don't see the process. We don't see the process. And that process, what does that process look like? Is it waking up as an artist, waking up every morning, writing songs? Like what does that look like, TJ?
I mean, the writing the songs and recording the songs, that's the easy part. Yeah, you got to stay in the studio. Yeah, you got to record all the time. But the work is the hard part. You got to go out and hit these clubs. You got to go out and promote to radio, to different events. It's like the amount of work you got to do. Like just say on B.o.B's side, he was a multi-genre artist. So his music was on urban, it was on rhythmic, and it was on pop. And so when he went into a city, he couldn't do just an interview at the one urban station. He had to do all the urban stations in the city so he didn't get caught up in the politics and his record get removed from rotation. Well, okay, that might be two stations, that might be three in the city. Well, since he's in the city, he can't just do urban, he has to do rhythmic. Yeah, that might be another two stations. And he has to do pop. So that might be another two, three stations. And so it's just like you spend your whole day doing interviews, whether it's on the phone, whether it's in person, whether it's on site. Then you perform, you got to do your shows. Okay, that's cool. And then after that, you got to go to the club and you got to do the club thing. See the DJs, make sure they play the records. You might even touch the mic at the club. Uh, but then the next morning, I mean, you might not get in till 2, 3, 4 in the morning, but the next morning it starts all over again. And when you're really moving, you're not stationary, so you're going from city to city. I remember there was a time when we were in a different country every day. So we do the clubs, the radio, the clubs, the TV stuff, and get back to the room late at night, like 3, but had to be up at 6 to go to the airport and catch a flight and then go to the next country and do that shit all over again. And I'm talking about that shit is so tiring, just trying to handle all this required if you really got hits. It's hard. It's hard. I remember one time my eyes were just watering from not getting enough sleep. They stayed bloodshot red. They'd always be watering because I could never get enough rest. I could never get caught up. And really, I never would get caught up until my body just shut down and was just like, nah, TJ, sit your ass down today.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like your drive is one thing, but your body is like, look, we can't go no more. So you got to chill out. Yes. Huh. I got you. So I guess that's important. It's important to build teams as well, right? Like so that you don't overexhaust yourself. Um,
I mean, the team is everything, but it's like when you start now, there's no money involved. Nobody believes, so it's like at the beginning, you're doing all you can yourself. And I tell artists with their careers, they're really only limited by what their management can't do, and I had to be the publicist. I had to be the booking agent. I had to be the life coach. I had to be the financial advisor. I had to be the travel agent. I had to be the best friend.
Mhm.
Um, all kind of stuff, and it was it's just a lot. But then as they have success and start getting money, then you can start adding different people to the team, whether it be a business manager, whether it be a
Mhm.
full-time attorney, whether it be a full-time publicist, a road manager, you know, a tour manager. Um, all that stuff helps and makes life a lot easier. But you
Absolutely.
have to work to get to those points.
I hear you 100%. Thank you for all of those pearls of wisdom that you just dropped, you know. So I want to be respectful of your time. So this is the last question I'm going to ask because I know that you do have a meeting coming up soon. So I don't want you saying, look, Pearl made me late for my meeting. So let me wrap this up by saying you have just been honored with where is my notes? I want to say it right. The Black Music Hall of Fame. You've been inducted.
National Black Radio Hall of Fame. I just got inducted, I
Yes,
think about a month ago.
yes. So all of this work, TJ, the bloodshot eyes, the watery eyes, the kid that was looking at Beat Street. You get what I'm saying? You are
Hmm.
now a part of history. You get what I'm saying? Like
Yes,
you are
indeed.
part of the pantheon, you know, of energies that have given us music, you know, that have been behind the scenes orchestrating all of this. You know, the people that may not get all of the flowers because you all are always behind. You get what I'm saying? It's usually the artist. So I just want to thank you for your dedication. Oh goodness, your intelligence, your drive to, you know, add to our culture. You know, so thank you for what you do.
No,
Thank
I
you.
definitely appreciate it.
Yes. And you all, we're celebrating 50 years of hip hop. So, you know that you are a part of that footprint. You're a part of that blueprint um, on an international level. You know what I'm saying? Not just locally. So, just I'm honored that I had an opportunity to spend time with you and to pick your brain. And thank you so much, you know. And yeah, I look forward to just, you know, continuing to build with you. So thank you, TJ.
Come on, man, be quiet.
Ah,
Look,
just saying, hey, he's feeling what I'm saying. I'm not mad at him.
yeah, I guess he is something. These dogs overprotective. They act like they're gonna do something.
Oh, I hear you. So look, TJ, if people want to follow you, you know, how can they follow you? Anybody that's looking to be a manager, do you have any mentor programs? What can you leave us with, you know, for anybody that's watching this interview?
I mean, feel free to hit me up, send me a DM. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how you approach me is the response you're gonna get. You know, learn how to approach people, learn how to talk to people, learn how to ask questions to get information that you need. But so many rappers, they come at me all wrong, and so I'm not responding. I might even block them. You know, I mean, they talk about get at me. Why I want to get at you? What I need to get at you for? I'm straight. You need to get at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, ask me your question. Don't just send me some music without introducing yourself and stating whatever you're gonna say. I hate it when people just send song links or video links and don't say nothing. It's like that. I mean, I think that's rude. I don't know how y'all was brought up. I don't know how what your parents taught you, but shit, that's rude. Shit, you walk in somebody's house and you don't speak to them, that's rude. And I feel the same way about my social media, my emails, my texts, my everything, you know? But my social media, everything is TJ's DJs. It's easy. You can find me at TJS DJS. That's my email. That's my social media. That's my everything. Everything is TJ's DJ. That's my brand. That's me.
Amen to that. Amen to that. And I want to thank the universe for putting us together a couple of weeks ago. You know, nothing happens by
Oh, that
accident.
was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I was like, okay, okay, God. So you all thank you for tuning in. This interview will also be in Pearl Magazine's winter edition of 2023, celebrating 50 years of hip hop. And thank you again to my amazing guest, TJ. I appreciate you, and you have a wonderful day.
You do the same, Pearl. Take it easy. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.